The storm had already rewritten the landscape by the time Mara Kessler realized the sound she was hearing wasn't wind. For 3 days the sky over Kepler 442c's mining colony had been tearing itself apart, lightning splitting the horizon in silent white veins while the rain fell sideways in sheets thick enough to blur the world into abstract shapes. Mara should have been heading back to the dome. Her survey of the water reclamation pylons was overdue, her suit battery dipping into yellow, and Command hated it when engineers wandered alone during storm protocols. But the sound came again, a sharp, desperate cry that sliced through the roar of weather with surgical precision. It wasn't mechanical. It wasn't human. It was alive. And it was drowning. Against every rule written for off-world survival, Mara changed course and followed the noise down into a ravine carved fresh by the floodwaters. The ground gave way beneath her boots, mud swallowing her ankles as she slid the final meters and saw it, a creature trapped between shattered rock columns, the torrent climbing over its small body, its snout barely breaking the surface. It was beautiful in a way that hurt to look at. Scales dark as polished obsidian, wings crumpled and torn like broken sails, eyes glowing a molten amber that locked onto hers with a clarity that felt ancient and painfully aware. For half a second Mara froze. This moon was supposed to be barren. No registered fauna. No biological signatures beyond microbial traces. Yet here it was, a child of some impossible lineage, choking in the storm. "Hold on," she whispered, knowing it couldn't understand but saying it anyway, because silence felt cruel. She waded into the water. The cold punched through her suit seals like teeth. The creature thrashed weakly when she reached it, claws scraping uselessly against reinforced plating. The rocks shifted. The current surged. For one terrifying moment the ravine tried to claim them both, dragging her sideways as her boots lost purchase. Her fingers closed around the creature's torso, shockingly warm, like holding a live engine, and she pulled with everything she had. They burst onto the muddy bank together. The creature coughed, a grinding metallic rasp, then curled instinctively toward her chest. She should have left it. Protocol demanded reporting unknown species immediately. But those glowing eyes held her, and in them she saw fear, pain, and something unmistakably trusting. She wrapped it in her emergency thermal sheet. "You're going to ruin my career," she murmured. The creature chirped softly and pressed closer. 3 weeks later the colony still didn't know it existed. Mara hid the hatchling in an unused cargo hangar, feeding it synthesized protein bricks and recycled water, watching it grow at a pace that defied biology. She named it Cinder despite promising herself she wouldn't name it at all. Naming made things real. Cinder's scales shifted from matte black to a glossy dark sheen that caught the overhead lights like oil. Its wings healed, stretching wider each day, its intelligence undeniable. It watched her work. It learned her movements. It responded to tone like a dog, but with a depth that unsettled her, as if it understood more than it could express. And then one morning it was gone. The hangar was empty except for claw marks on the steel. Panic hollowed her chest. She searched every maintenance tunnel, every shadowed corridor, whispering its name like a prayer she didn't believe in. The alarm shattered the colony before she found it. "External threat detected," the AI announced calmly. "Multiple airborne hostiles." Mara ran with the others to the observation deck, and the sky stole her breath. They were everywhere. Giants circling the dome, wings beating thunder into the air, bodies vast and terrible and magnificent. Dragons, there was no other word, scales flashing in shades of coal, silver, and blood red beneath the stormlight. At their center flew something enormous, a shape so black it swallowed light. The defense cannons powered up, plasma humming, and every soldier on the platform held their breath. The colossal dragon descended and landed just outside the shield barrier, the impact rattling the glass. Its body shifted. Bones flowed. Wings folded into arms. The creature stood upright, still scaled, still alien, but unmistakably intelligent. When it spoke, the sound vibrated through the structure like a struck bell. "We seek the human who saved our young." Commander Reyes stepped forward, voice tight. "We don't know what you're talking about." Mara stepped past him before fear could stop her. I do. The dragon's gaze found her instantly. The air thickened. You pulled our hatchling from death, it said. You chose mercy for a life not your own. Mara swallowed. It needed help. Silence stretched, charged and electric. Then the dragon laughed, a rolling thunder that wasn't cruel but warm with recognition. I am Kael'rith, speaker of the Emberkin. Those who harmed our child believed your storms would finish what they began. They misjudged both our young. And you. The circling dragons descended in a slow spiral. The storm itself seemed to calm around them. Your colony struggles, Kael'rith continued. We have watched. Your water fails. Your crops die. You consider abandoning this world. No one denied it. We know this planet, the dragon said. Every spring beneath the stone. Every safe valley. Every shelter from the sky's anger. You saved our future. We offer you yours. The words hung heavier than gravity. Alliance. Protection. Knowledge beyond anything the colony could buy. Reyes looked at Mara, because everyone understood this moment existed because of her. Tears blurred her vision. She had expected reprimand, exile, maybe prison. Not this. She nodded once. We accept. A ripple moved through the dragons like a shared heartbeat. Kael'rith turned, then paused. The hatchling you call Cinder wishes to remain with you. To learn your kind as you learn ours. A bridge between worlds. A smaller form dove from the sky and landed beside the dragon leader. Cinder. Bigger now, stronger, wings flawless. It chirped and pressed its head against Mara's shoulder. She laughed through tears. You're staying with me? The hatchling answered by curling around her legs possessively. The humans lowered their weapons. The dragons folded their wings. And in that impossible stillness, on a moon once labeled dead, two species chose cooperation over fear. As the Emberkin descended to meet the colonists, Mara understood something that no training manual or mission briefing had ever taught her. Humanity's strength had never been its ships or weapons or algorithms. It was the instinct to reach into chaos and pull something fragile to safety. A decision made in seconds that echoed for generations. Somewhere deep in the storm clouds, thunder rolled like distant applause. If stories like this remind you why imagination matters and you want more journeys across strange worlds, consider subscribing to the channel, because sometimes the smallest acts of kindness travel farther than light, and the universe is built by those who refuse to walk away.